everyone, so I have these two sweet little girls, Leilani Blue on the left here, and then Lulia Pearl over there on the right. I've also referred to them as Twin A and Twin B, and I've really been wanting to show you guys their details, so I'm super excited to do it today. I've decided not to do it outside like I normally do because the lighting was really bright today and it's extremely hot outside, so I hope that this is kind of a good second option. We're over here in the craft room right in front of a window with some beautiful natural light coming through, so I hope that you guys are going to be able to see everything. And I'm going to do both their details videos in one whole swoop, but I will put timestamps for each baby, so if you guys are more interested in one or the other, that is perfectly fine if you guys just want to skip ahead, but let's go ahead and get into it. I am going to take their cute little onesies off because they have different bodies and I want to kind of tell you guys what I like and dislike about each of them as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right in. Alright, so this baby here is Miss Leilani Blue. Just some all-around overall details is she is the Uriel sculpt by Priscilla Lopes. She was painted by Laurie Duncan of Pixie Mountain Creations. She is about 4.5 pounds and 17 inches. She's kind of in between that preemie and newborn size where she can wear like large preemie or small newborn. Either one seems to work really well for her. I just powdered her with the D3 Creations matting powder, and so she should be nice and silky smooth for you guys in this video. The one problem with me filming the details videos in the craft room is I have to kind of film from the side or else I'm covering the lighting. So I do apologize for that. But this baby is painted in some very beautiful sort of reddish pink tones, which I think is very appropriate for her age considering that she is a very new looking baby. And so that's kind of all around. She has lots of capillaries, lots of beautiful veining. That's kind of the artist style I picked up on. She has an absolutely gorgeous soft spot on her head that is just sculpted fantastically. So even though she is a baldy, she does just have that really realistic look. But her ears are absolutely precious. They're kind of that little like folded over look, which is really cool with the silicone. I love like squeezing her, well, kind of just touching her little ears. They feel so realistic. And then she is kind of painted very sweet and simple. She does not have any eyebrows, eyelashes, anything like that. But as you could tell, her coloring is gorgeous. She does have like the cutest little button nose ever. I love how Priscilla Lopes did her nose. And then she does have that little smiling face, that little half smile expression down to her arms. She is that nice, you know, mottling, kind of splotchy, realistic look. And this arm's kind of bent up, bent forward, so it kind of looks like she's trying to like cover her face or wave hi to you. It is very cute. And I love how she has the open fingers because when she kind of, when her fingers sort of touch you, they are, like it feels like a real baby is touching you. It's the kind of weirdest feeling. And she, yet again, is painted quite simply. She doesn't really have any half moon or bed on her nails, but her creasing and all of her little wrinkles on her hands are just done fantastically. It accentuates the sculpt perfectly. Fingers, you can almost still, I didn't think that you'd be able to get this kind of detail in silicone, but you can see how the artist kind of painted like the little grooves on the fingers possibly. If you guys are watching in HD, you might be able to see that. And then this hand is kind of permanently extended, but what I love about this hand is you can kind of like put it around her body. It's really precious. Let me kind of get this from the side for you guys. There are her little fingers. I have kind of noticed a little bit of mold line on these two fingers. Silicones always kind of have some small imperfections, and so I'll kind of go over that with you guys so that if at any point in time I do decide to sell either of these babies, the buyer will be completely aware of any of her little flaws. Still really beautiful though. Hand is painted very similarly to the other one. Nothing else crazy going on. And I feel like her arms are kind of painted like, or are sculpted very realistically for a preemie. They're not too like skinny up top. She does have a little bit of meat on her bones. And then I love this little elbow. Super cute how it's like kind of extended. Her knee sort of has that exact same look to it, which I love. She's very, very cute. I love this leg. This is like kind of the kicking out leg, and then the other one's more the bent one. And then here's her little footsies. So these two middle toes here are together, but the rest of them are separated. And there's her painting. I hope that you guys can see everything well. And there's the bottom of her foot, nice and red and precious. She does appear to have a little bit of a rub mark on her ankle. It might be just the way that she was painted, or it might be a rub mark. It's a little bit hard to tell, but I also, like I said, I just want to disclose sort of everything to you guys. But she does have gorgeous veining. You can kind of see like the veining in my fingers and then the veining in her leg. Very, very similar. It shows how subtle and realistic her painting really is. It's beautiful. All right, and then another little flaw that I've kind of noticed in her silicone is she does have like a little bump on the inside of her leg. You can't notice it at all when she's wearing clothes, or even if she just has a diaper on, the diaper completely covers it. But yeah, I do love this cute little bent knee. This part does make her quite cuddly. And she also does appear to have a couple other sort of random paint rubs just in like high contact areas. However, she's not shiny in these areas. And so I'm not sure if it's a matting issue or kind of what's going on with it. But it's very subtle. I even kind of, when I first saw her, thought that it might just be sort of the way the artist painted her. I'm not completely sure. But yeah, there you can kind of see just a little bit of those high contact areas. But it definitely does not take away from how beautiful she is. And I don't want you guys to think that I'm just complaining and critiquing like every little part, but I do think it's important to really disclose every little part of a silicone so that people know what they're getting for sure. He does have the gathered body. This body is extraordinarily cuddly. I do think that Leilani is a little bit more cuddlier than Lulia because of the gathered body. It's just a personal preference for me. The one thing with this body, and it might just be that I just need to tighten the zip ties, which I might do, but it kind of seems like the silicone kind of pops out of it a little bit easier maybe. So I'm going to flip her over because she has another cool feature on her body. So as you can tell here, she was signed by her artist, Laurie, Duncan, and then on her butt, she's got the gathered butt too, which I love. It has the little Pixie stamp on it, which is really precious. And now you can kind of see the back of her legs a little bit better too, because I was definitely struggling trying to show you guys that. But her legs are absolutely gorgeous. I love them. But now we will go ahead and go on to the next baby. All right, so here is Miss Lulia Pearl. She is also the Uriel sculpt by Priscilla Lopes. However, her artist is Cheryl Martin of Chemar Silicone Nursery. And she was also recently powdered with the D3 Creations matting powder. Since I already kind of went through the kit's details with Leilani, with Lulia, I'll kind of just be going over her painting. and her body. And so if you guys are more interested in the kits details, I would recommend watching Lulia's half of the video. But her painting is definitely still very newborn and absolutely beautiful. Her coloring is slightly different though. Her coloring is more of like an olivey color, and she has more purpley tones. I absolutely love her painting. Her painting is a little bit more intricate and detailed, I would say. She's not done quite as simplistic as Leilani is. She has a little bit more to go over details wise in her painting anyway. And so I really hope that you guys can see. I hate that my camera kind of doesn't zoom very well, but she does have some beautifully painted light eyebrows, and she does have some blonde eyelashes. She has pierced ears, which is pretty darn cool. And I absolutely love how she's kind of got the more like yellowy tones on her nose, and then kind of the stork bite look right here on her forehead. Her coloring in her eyes and her nose is just beautiful. The color of her lips is also perfect as well, and I don't want to pull too much, but she does have an open mouth. And I was kind of wondering, like, how in the world did her artist do that so incredibly well? She must have like cut open her lips and then kind of took away some of the silicone from the inside before she painted her. And so she can take very small pacifiers or modified pacifiers, just nothing big. So, but she has absolutely gorgeous creasing and cutest little smile ever. I know I already said that for Leilani, but anyway. And then she has gorgeous painting on her arms as well. I feel like the camera is, of course, now not picking up what I wanted to. She just has all of the right mottling in all the right areas. I think that silicone artists are just incredibly talented. It takes a lot of effort to get them right. And I do love how red her hands are with the kind of bluish tones sort of in the back of the hand. It's really hard to tell in this lighting, but the back of the hand and the front of the hand as well. Her hands do appear to be a little bit more shiny. So right now I don't see any paint rubs or anything like that on her. She does have gorgeous nails. I hope the camera's picking that up. She does have a little bit of the top nail bed, just enough to where it's realistic for a newborn. Another tiny little flaw that I've noticed on her, she does kind of have, I thought this was just sort of like a little newborn scratch on her hand, but it actually is like a slight indent. And then here's her other arm. She does have those gorgeous blue undertones. And then here you can kind of see the blue undertones in her hand a little bit better. But yeah, her coloring I would say is a little bit more similar to mine than Leilani's is. But both are very gorgeous. There's the palm of her hand. You can kind of see that. Also slightly shiny, so I'm going to keep an eye on this one as well. Her creases were done fantastically. Like, this looks like a real hand. It's ridiculous. And hopefully maybe on this hand you can also see the nail tips a little bit better. All right, moving on down to her feet and her little leggies. She has absolutely gorgeous painting on her legs as well. And there's her little feet. She does also have the very small nail tips on her feet. Perfect coloring for a newborn. And I love how red the bottom of her feet are. It is gorgeous. Anyway, here's also her legs. You can kind of see those really nice like yellow undertones in her skin. I love how like rosy her little knees are. And then there's the bottom of this foot. Right here is Miss Lulia's body. Her body does not have the gathered chest or the gathered bottom, and it's a lot more kind of straight and flat. If you guys can kind of tell, like Lulia's legs go completely straight out, whereas Leilani's legs kind of curled in a little bit better. I don't necessarily hate this body. She's still quite cuddly and she poses very well, but she's just not quite as cuddly as Leilani is. And so in the future, I might kind of change things up, but I do really like how this body holds the silicone. I feel like it sort of squishes and kind of gives a little bit better. So this body might be more specialized for like a silicone doll, whereas the other one might be more specialized for like a reborn. I'm really not sure. I'm not an expert when it comes to any of that. But I just think it is definitely worth noting if you guys sort of see different bodies with this silicone kit, which one's a little bit more cuddly and then which one might be a little bit more practical. I think this one might be slightly more practical. She doesn't have any signatures or anything special with her back, so I'll just kind of leave it at that with her. I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful for anyone who is planning on getting this silicone kit or work from either of these artists, or if you guys just wanted to see all of their beautiful details. But anyway, I hope that you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. If you guys have any other requests for videos with these lovely ladies, just let me know in the comments. And again, thank you guys so much for watching.